Okay, so today I'm actually going to talk about the 4 stages of learning and how they actually relate to what you're doing in the gym, but also to every other area of your life. The first stage is unconscious incompetence. And what that means is that you don't know what you don't know. So there's no way of you knowing that there is something else to know. Tricky, hey? The second phase of learning is conscious incompetence. You now know that you don't know anything, that you're actually having maybe not the ability to move really well, or maybe that you open the book and you realize that there is a whole topic that you never even thought about and you didn't know they existed, but now you know. The third phase is conscious competence, which is you know what you know and you're good with it. But then there is a fourth phase, which is the unconscious competence, which is there is so much more that you can learn that you don't know exists. And that's really cool, because that means that as a human being, we can constantly evolve. And you go through a full loop of this, by the way. If we turn this into the gym to make it as a good metaphor, if you go through phase 1 is when you've just signed up, you've never been to the gym, or it's even before that, the unconscious incompetence. Say that it's a movement. You don't know what it takes to create the biomechanical movements in what joints to do a squat. And you might not even know how to squat at all. And biomechanically, you might not even have a good movement pattern. So that is you being unconscious incompetent. But then you realize that you're looking around and you see all these people squatting and you go like, hey, I don't look like that when I squat. Now you're having the conscious incompetence. Now you can see that, oh, okay, there are some things that I don't know here. So you start working on it. You might get a coach. They might be teaching you the movement patterns. So you then move on to phase 3, which is the conscious competence. What that means is that now you might be able to do the squat properly and it looks right, but you still have to kind of drill in your head like, okay, I need to bend at the knee, I need to brace my core, and when I reach this point, I need to push back up again, and it should be looking and feeling like this. So you're being very conscious in how you're creating the movements. And then eventually you've drilled and drilled and drilled, and it becomes this unconscious competence, which means that you can go through the motion. It's second nature. You don't even know that you have to like check in. You just know, you do it per automatic. And at some point you might know, okay, shit, my movement patterns now are good. I'm not thinking about what I'm doing, but there's another level. That there might be a whole different kind of squat pattern that you could learn. There might be other exercises. So you go through the phases again. And it's like, oh shit, I could also squat in this way. And you start going through the phases again. And this is really the evolution of learning. And depending on where you are, it's going to require more or less effort and consciousness doing the exercises. And it goes for everything, even if you're an academic, if you have a job, whatever it is. So embrace wherever you are, knowing that there is a higher level that you can go to that will come sooner or later, but it comes from repetition. It comes from doing the same things over and over again until you know to do better again. And just enjoy wherever you are in the phase, and just know that you can always work on your self-mastery in that way, because there are phases of learning. So there are phases of where you are and where you're going to.